1 minute, wait.
Yes.
The SWOT analysis. So self-auditing, finding the strengths of our own personality as a teacher or whatever role we are playing. For that role, what are the strengths? Trying to find out the strengths of the person in that role, trying to find out our own strengths, our weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, opportunities, positive trends, support, teamwork, networking, training, experienced colleagues, technology, all these are the opportunities, right? Strengths, I told you resources, knowledge, experience, ability, skill, all these are the strengths, personality, voice, okay? Weaknesses, resources needed, not available. For example, you need certain books, they are not available to you. So that can be a weakness. You need computer for preparing, for doing your work, but that is not available. Internet connection not available, suppose, right? So that can be a weakness, or lack of knowledge, lack of skill, lack of experience. That can bring the limitations, right? Contacts needed, proper networking not there. So these are the weaknesses. Now threats, risk, insecurity, right? Change in circumstances. We are adapted to certain circumstances, but suddenly the situation changes and we are not able to cope with the new circumstances. So at once we saw last year, COVID-19 came and there was lockdown, and suddenly the circumstances changed, and from physical classroom, we had to shift to online classes. So these kind of things these kind of things, they are the threats. We have to adapt with the sudden changes, obstacles in our way. Okay, so you can see here, down to your surrounding environment. So I hope you understood what is SWOT analysis and what is self-auditing. Now from self-auditing we will move to the auditing of an organization or a school. Let us see how a teacher can do a SWOT analysis. Teacher can list down his qualities, his strengths. Here there is a SWOT analysis of a language teacher. For example, a teacher lists down, I have passion for teaching. I have good interpersonal skills. I have degree in education. I have good critical and analytical skills. I have excellent communication skills. I have plenty of work experience. I am good with public speaking, right? I have good mastery of English. I am young and healthy. I have a powerful voice. I have the knowledge of technology. This can be strengths, right? I have then he will see what are his weaknesses. He lists down here. I have little relevant experience. I'm lazy and suffer from procrastination. Is overthinker. I lack concentration, attention span. I have not much subject knowledge. I lack stress management skills. I'm poor at dealing with conflict. I'm low in self-esteem as a teacher, and I have young children to take care of. My knowledge of grammar is poor. My text is limited. Right now, opportunities. I have a job offer in a college which suits my temperament better. Eventually, I could go on and study for my PhD. I have been offered a scholarship for my doctorate work. I have given a particular class that I like to teach. My college has instituted an annual gold medal for the best teacher. My parents are moving to a neighborhood. Our car loan application has been cleared. So opportunities, right? And then threats. This place is quite expensive. We have no PhD supervision in this town. I have a heavy workload. I need to sign a contract if I take up a new job, right? First year admission to my college have been drastically decreased. So I have a poor knowledge of grammar. Maybe my pronunciations are not good. I'm not very quick at calculations. I cannot cope with the students. I cannot control the class quickly, I cannot be strict with the students. This can be my this can be the threats, this can be the weaknesses, right? So weaknesses can be identified and can be converted into strengths. So let us see self-auditing for the institution. So what are the different things, and what are the different functions that are done in the school, right? There, fees are collected, salaries done, then the employees and the school maintenance, the electricity, cleanliness, personal cleanliness, or the institutional cleanliness, campus cleanliness. Then there is admission work. There are academic works. There are cultural works, events, activities. There is POXO committee. Then there are transport. There is transport department. Teachers have got sexual harassment committee, tour and excursion, special education, tuck shop and book committee, sports committee, school magazine and newspaper, exam department, educational resource planning, mobile app, website, school website committee, infrastructure and maintenance, anti-bullying committee. Anti-bullying is there in the school, so how to stop that? Stop stress solution committee, and then stop stress solution committee, COVID-19 committee, or anything that urgently comes that becomes a new function to adopt, right? That becomes a new challenge, and to cope with that, a separate group can be designated that responsibility. Subject HOD, a group of subject HOD or a HOD committee, school portal committee, school disaster management committee, school safety committee, school health and sanitation work, and committee for specially abled children, autism, or the students with psychological disorders such as ADHD, hyperactive disorder, attention deficit and hyperactivity, right? Dyscalculia, then dyslexia, where the child continuously sees that the letters are moving, right? And he at once he sees B, the next moment he sees it D. He sees 3, and in the next moment he sees that it is 6. One moment he sees it 9, and the next moment he sees it 6. So that is a problem. So these kind of students need a special kind of treatment, special ways. They are taught in a special way, right? But at least the teachers should know that these kind of students are there in the class. Many times the teachers don't know that there are this kind of students suffering from dyslexia or hyperactivity, and in an attempt to discipline our class, we dealt with them in a rough way, and instead of doing any good, that does bad to those students. So this kind of committee for specially abled student is also required in the school, and people who are properly trained in autism, psychological disorder, or special education, there must be at least one special educator in the school, it is said. Now we will go deep into the function of each committee. So first, these many committees should be there in the school if we have to work smoothly and effectively, like the best school in the country. One, I told you that fees, salary, maintenance committee, right? They should have a weekly meeting. Then the budgets are prepared, right? Each department, each teacher assumes how many papers he would need, how many prints he would need, right? How many books he would need, and he gives his requirement at a specific time of the year. Maybe this work starts in December. This kind of work starts in December, January, and the annual budget of next year is prepared by February, right? Then the next thing is maintenance. For example, the repairing of the tap, plumbing work in the school, toilet work, washroom works in the school, right? Then the transport, repairing of the vehicles, right? The pollution control, the annual taxes to be paid, all that is considered. And considering that, then the teachers' salaries and all that, and the annual budget is prepared, and how much fees should be charged, that is decided. So that part comes in first part, maintenance fees salaries committee. Second part is admission committee. This committee looks after admissions, admission documentation, filing work, right, and promotion, attracting students for admission, completing all the admission modality, collecting documents, keeping them in a proper manner, right, and then the next committee is academic committee. Now, academic committee again has a very important role. Teachers, first academic plan, whole year month-wise division of syllabus. Month-wise division of syllabus, in which month which chapter will be taught, right? Then annual plan, then there is curriculum. Curriculum is again a wide concept where day-wise tentative planning is prepared that whole year on which day which chapter will be taught and which books will be used, which reference books will be used, right? Which websites will be referred, and which websites will be referred, then which teaching aids will be used. All these things are considered, and the academic plan, then annual plan. See the things I am telling. First is annual plan. Okay, annual plan that from the beginning to the end, from the first day of the school to the last day of the school. That will include revision also. Second, curriculum plan. Curriculum plan, then conspectus. Conspectus, third document. And conspectus would also show the division of syllabus month-wise. Then the fourth one, assessment plan. So your school will start in maybe March, April, but you will already have a full plan ready. You will already have a full plan ready for whole year in February, right? And when the student comes to join the school, with his admission kit, or maybe on the orientation day, you will deliver him a complete schedule of examination for all years. So on the first day of the school, the child will know that on which day the unit test will start, on which day the semester exam will start, on which day the term 1 exam will start, term 2 exam will start, and when the holidays will start. Tentative planning is given, is ready with us in February, March only, and the students get it at the time of orientation. So all these things will come in academics, the assessment schedule and the academic, the division of the chapters month-wise, right? Curriculum, conspectus, this 4 part, then regular observation of classes, right? Lesson plans. These all things are seen.
Hello,
Discussed. These all things are discussed in academic committee's work. Academic committee meets in a week, in every week. Academic committee, the principal, vice principal, HODs, coordinators play important role. Teachers, everyone is important. Teachers' role is also important. Each and everyone. If one person does not do his work properly, the chain is broken. And if one link of a chain is broken, the complete chain breaks. The next thing is cultural committee. In cultural committee work, music, dance, activity, and event. They are planning. So in Jan, Feb only, the whole year, what programs will take place, a list, tentative list is ready. Which event on which day. Then POXO committee work. POXO committee, it's again child abuse, right? And I will show you the detailed composition of POXO committee. Just a minute. Okay. So wait. I will talk about POXO committee also. In POXO committee, there are 2 parents member, vice principal or principal, then the teachers, right? So that is the composition. That is the composition of POXO committee. Right? POXO committee meet quarterly, once in 3 months. They prepare, they maintain the minutes of their meeting, right?
Sir,
Furthermore,
excuse me.
yes,
Sir, what is the meaning, full form of the POCSO? POCSO.
POCSO stands for the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. This act was enacted in 2012 and it is a special law to protect children.
prevention of child sexual abuse. Okay, so this committee checks that whether any child is sexually abused in the school, if the child is bullied, right? Or under this committee, the programs like gender sensitivity or the programs like sexual awareness for children or the sexual education to children or counseling to the children through the expert is organized, right? So gender sensitivity program comes under this committee's work, and each school is supposed to organize a program on gender sensitivity, right? So the children understand what is, girls and boys understand what is good touch, bad touch. They will understand the changes that are happening physically in their body, because many times the children do not understand when suddenly the body changes, right? And they react strangely, and many times they are ignorant, and some ill-minded people take benefit of their ignorance. So gender sensitivity program and POCSO committee is compulsory, is essential in each school. The next committee is a transport committee, right? This committee checks that the vehicles are safe, all their documentation is properly completed, right? And the transportation is properly done. Then the driver, the conductor take proper care of the students. All these things, the proper check of pollution, speed, all these things, then the timings of the vehicle, these things are taken care by this committee. Then when when the audit takes place, all these things are checked, all these documents are checked, whether the particular vehicle is appropriate or not, whether it has a particular certificate of POC or not, whether it is tax is paid or not, whether driver has a license or not, right? These kind of things are checked. Then teachers awards committee, right? So in many schools, not in all schools, right, the awards are given. In those schools, there are the committees, and those committees assess the work of different teachers, their role in different programs, their results, and their all-round bearing. And teachers awards, the committee decides that which teacher should be given the award. Then there is sexual harassment committee. This is also compulsory according to the law. This ensures that all the teachers, all the female teachers, all the women teachers also given respectful treatment, and there are no cases of sexual harassment. They are not treated in a wrong way in the premises, right? Or so any act that makes any female employee feel embarrassing in the campus, in the premises, is considered against law. And this committee and that female employee can go to the sexual harassment committee and complain about that act. It may be females or male, right? Generally it happens in case of females, but yes, if it happens in case of males also, they can also approach this committee. Tour and excursion committee, it plans the educational excursions, trips, budget of the trip, and all the planning on and the itinerary of the trip, right? Collection of that money, and they keep track of everything. So the tour and excursion committee, they also look after the field visits. They meet quarterly, and the quarterly meeting is required. Then special education, I told you, ADHD, dyslexic students, right? They need special educators, right? Or they need to be taken special care, right? Because when we give normal reaction to the dyslexic children, because one child can read quickly and the other child just stuck, the teacher becomes angry because he does not know what is the problem. He does not know that the child is looking at the letters and the letters are moving, right? So it is very important that there should be a special educator and a special education committee in the school. And many times, there are abled or differently abled students. The wheelchair and all those things should be provided to them. So I told you that the first part, when we talked about fees, allowances, salary, and all those things are considered by the first committee.
Sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please.
In special education,
Yeah.
you have explained that the students those are physically handicapped.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes. You are not audible.
Physically handicapped students, there is some special education. But what about which type of special education we can do in our schools?
Yeah, according to the law, there must be a special educator in the school. I am talking first about the psychological problems, right? Dyslexic, dyscalculia, and hyperactivity, ADHD, right? So those students cannot sit quiet, ma'am, at one place. He will be continuously moving. He cannot focus his attention, right? So these students need special kind of techniques to teach, right? And dyslexic, they cannot read. So we should treat them like other students, but we should not expect things from them like other students. So that brings pressure on them. Okay, so there are special training programs that are organized for ADHD students and for special educators, right? And we are supposed to go through it. Is your doubt cleared, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Fine. These are the things that come in the maintenance and expenses and the fees committee that looks after these things. Okay, all the expenses and preparing a budget. Then this is the category under which the other different kind of problems, special education, physical and mental, they are considered. This committee looks after all these things, right? So physical as well as psychological characteristics are there. Autism, deep blindness, emotional disturbances, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, right? Multiple disabilities, orthopedic impairment, the health impairment, specific learning disability. The child cannot speak or he fumbles, hesitates while speaking. The language impairment, traumatic brain injury, right? Maybe some accident took place, child is injured, and because of that, he cannot normally do the movements of his hands, legs, right? So all these things, they are the special problem. And these kind of children need to be taken special care. So for that, we need a special educator in the school. We also need a wheelchair in the school. Now, it is supposed that we should maintain an anecdotal record of each student in the school. For example, a case of indiscipline occur in XYZ class in case of one's ex-student, right? So maybe indiscipline or maybe something good, the child did something good in the class, right? So that is noted down by the teacher. A teacher maintains a book, right? And in that book, he writes date, class, location, routine, staff person who was there, known or suspected setting event. So in what setting that event happened. Antecedent that triggered means what was the background, what was the previous thing that triggered that event, why that child behaved in that particular way. Then behavior, exactly what the student did. What the student did. Maybe the student broke the light in the class. Maybe the student shouted at the teacher, right? So the anecdotal record, this is called anecdotal record. It is written in detail and the record is maintained by the teacher in his file. Consequences and response. So what was the response? How adult and peers responded, how the other students in the class responded, how the teacher responded, or if there was other teacher, how he responded, he or she responded. This is called anecdotal record form. Now see here, this is a POCSO committee, how the POCSO committee is formed. Minutes of the POCSO committee meeting. held on 16/7/2020, Thursday. Time, date, all that is given, right? Zoom conferencing. Following members, if it is physical, then the venue is mentioned. The following members attended the meeting: head of the committee, deputy head of the committee, member 1, member 2, member 3, that way, with their designation. And this is a record. POXO committee, these are the functions. The POXO committee shall include the HOS, that is the head of the institution, vice principal, coordinators, along with 1 PGT and 2 parent members. Okay, you can remember this. 1 HOS, then vice principal, coordinators, along with 1 PGT and 2 parent members. The committee may undertake the responsibility of spreading awareness among the students and the school staff about the POXO Act and its activities through workshop, seminar, teacher-student interaction, rallies, talk shows, awareness, walks at regular interval. The committee shall ensure that the school should be under CCTV surveillance. The committee should ensure that the students are regularly informed about online complaint facility, drop box named Nirbhaya. Means we should keep a drop box where if this kind of complaint, the complaint can be written and dropped in that box. Or it can be installed in the school premises wherein their complaints, they can drop their complaint against child abuse. Frequency of meeting, tuck shop and book committee. You know, in many schools, the book shop, the books are also given from the school. The stationery is given from the school. So there is a tuck shop. It's a store, a school store, which distributes books and the stationery. Then sports committee is there. Sports committee meets, monthly meeting is there. Their events, monthly event, right? Then all the committee members, the physical in charge, then the other sports person, right? So they regularly meet. Then school magazine and newspaper committee. They meet every month. They decide which magazines should come to the school, which newspapers, their expenses, they keep track of that and convey it to the head of the institution. Exam committee, quarterly meeting. Exam committee meets quarterly meeting. It usually is headed by 1 PGT or TGT, and there are all HODs which are the part of the exam committee, right? And they report to the principal, vice principal or principal. Then ERP, mobile website committee. This is educational resource planning. You know, we just as we have a software that operates, that is used for admission and administration works, right? So that is, or some schools give mobile app to the students, to the parents, so parents can see the result of their children or their attendance in the mobile app, or if they remain absent, the message goes to their home automatically. So that comes in ERP system where the marks are uploaded on the system and automatically the parents can see the website or the school portal. That updation, regular updation of school portal comes in this. If any event takes place, that the news or photograph of that event go to the website, that is looked after by this particular committee. This committee meets on monthly basis and it updates the portal. I also says the PR work is also done by this committee. Suppose some event took place in the school, the news is prepared and sent to the newspapers. Then the next committee, that is infrastructure and maintenance, quarterly. They meet quarterly. And if there is any problem in the classrooms, and if there is any problem of electricity, network connection, maybe this blackboard, green board, whiteboard, maps, right? Classrooms, right? Washroom, all these things are considered in this. And this committee looks after that. Anti-bullying committee. You know, sometimes the strong children ill-treat the weaker children in the class, submissive children in the class. So this committee makes sure that no child remains at home because of bullying and no child is tortured in this way. And this committee maintains the record. They meet on monthly basis. Staff stress solution committee. This committee makes sure that all the teachers and all the people, staff members working, remain relaxed and enjoy working. They are not under pressure. This committee works to reduce the stress on the staff members. So staff stress solution committee. Then you can see here, These are the minutes of the meeting again. Approval, confirmation of the meeting, minutes of the last meeting. So when a meeting takes place last week, suppose if this week we are again sitting, so last meeting's minutes are read first, and then approval is taken to those minutes, and then the next proceedings start. Follow-up of the implementation of the point discussed in the previous meeting. Discussion was done on the implementation of decisions, minutes of the previous meeting. The meeting for the quarter ending. So now previous meeting follow, previous meeting's decision and implementation follow. So following are the minutes of the meeting. When then the reporting is written, dash 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 has been designated as a new deputy head of the POCSO committee. Any changes that are made, that are mentioned there, and at the end, then second decision, online session for all students on good touch, bad touch of class 4th and 5th to take place in this section during the quarter July to September 2020. Okay, so okay, so this is these are the minutes of the meeting of a POCSO committee meeting. Remember, okay. So at the end, vote of thank was done. There being no other point, the meeting concluded.
These are some of the samples of the formation of different committees, how a particular committee is formed, who are the members, who are the authorities in that committee. Each committee has its own functions and policies. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe the channel. And for further notifications, don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.